Atlas in the hot seat tonight.
And Atlas.
Goes by the name of Atlas the Bookkeeper. How you feeling, my friend?
What I'd like to do is recap. Now that I've actually played a full stream of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I want to give you my opinion. All right, the game is fun if you're a fan of Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball franchise, and you ever wanted to see it like fully represented very well in a modern game with great graphics and some pretty interesting scenarios when it comes to the plot. And what I mean by that is, number one, the graphics are outstanding on PC. I don't know about console, but on PC, this is the best looking Dragon Ball game I've really ever played. The graphics are so good with the effects. You know, they're charging up with their ki and giant explosions, and they're doing these giant effects of you know, attacks and stuff, and they're all very representative of how they looked in the anime, which is great. Just super fun to be able to play as any of your favorite characters and see all their different abilities and stuff. And of course, there's a lot of different versions of each character. I mean, I'm playing the Goku story, and there's like a million different Gokus that are all different from over the years, right? To be able to do Kaioken attack Goku versus, you know, Super Saiyan Goku versus Super Saiyan level 3 with the Dragon Fist Goku versus now I guess I'm God Saiyan Goku and stuff like that. It's really neat to see that represented in a game very well. What I'm also really enjoying about the game is that the game has what-if scenarios. It's not just the standard plot that you've seen if you've watched the animes or read the manga. It's what-if scenarios. For example, there was a scenario where Goku changed his mind about staying inside the training area during the Cell fight, and when Cell was absorbing all the androids. Instead, Goku left, fought Cell, and beat him, and then the whole plot changed, where now he's fighting the androids individually, and there's the showdown between him and 16 and stuff. I was like, oh, that's different. Like, totally different than anything else. That's really neat. So, yeah, so I had a great time with that. The one thing that I don't like, and this is the problem, is this is the major component of the game. The combat is just not very fun or satisfying. It's too chaotic. It's too complicated. And it's too fast-paced to the point where the camera can't even catch up or keep up with the action. And it makes it a big jumbled mess. So, for example, you're fighting one of these AI-controlled opponents, whether it's Frieza or Boo or whoever, and you dash up to them, you start doing a combo. Oh, they interrupt your combo. Okay, well, there's a move to interrupt the interruption with your own counter, but then they just counter back, and it's like, wait, what? I just, like, the game isn't fun if every time you try to play, the enemy just immediately auto-counters you. Then you have to counter their counter, but then they counter your counter. It's like, what? Like, when is there... Nothing ever feels like a solid hit. It feels like you got lucky to get a hit in. There's techniques that'll get you behind the opponent, and you'll do it, and sometimes it'll work, and sometimes it won't. And you'll end up scratching your head like, what happened there? Sometimes the camera, because you're moving so fast, you're like trying to teleport to them, or they're trying to fly to you. The camera gets stuck on stuff constantly, too. It's not like, oh, that happens every once in a while. Every fight I've done, the camera's stuck on a wall, stuck on a tree, stuck on a plateau. It's underwater. It's stuck under there. You can't see. And it's chaotic because you try to, like, let's say you want to charge your ki. Well, your ki charge effect blocks the camera. So now the enemy can throw projectiles at you or dash right to you, and you can't see the attack, so you can't counter it. And it's like, what happened here? You know, because people are like, oh, this is a serious fighting game. What? No. No. No, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is not a serious fighting game at all. It's an arena action game. It's meant to be completely unbalanced. It's meant to be fun because you like Dragon Ball. There is no way you could ever take this game seriously as a fighting game. It's ridiculous. I mean, just the basics premise of a fighting game, I need to see what's going on, actually doesn't work in this game. So how you think this could be a serious fighting game? You'd be like out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? But as for a game where you're actually getting fun because you're a fan of Dragon Ball, that I see. Like, as a fan of Dragon Ball, playing through the plot, I'm enjoying seeing the what-if scenarios. I'm enjoying seeing the different versions of Goku. And, you know, there's other plots as well that I'm going to play. Now, a lot of people have said the game is supposed to be majorly focused with online play, right? Okay, but the truth is, I don't think I'm ever going to do that. Like, for me, I already have a fighting game in Street Fighter. That's the fighting game franchise I like to play as something competitively online. Just like with Smash Brothers, I don't foresee myself playing this game seriously online. Maybe I'll dabble in a few streams or maybe one stream of just messing with it online to see what it's like. But I don't foresee myself caring. You know, I'm a variety streamer. I'm not going to sit here and dedicate hours and hours to try to learn how to play this game at some kind of a competitive level when it really is insignificant in the realm of competition. It just isn't a real fighting game that people are going to care about, right? So, no, I'm not going to be spending time on it. I am going to be playing through this story mode with Goku. We're going to see how people like it overall. Like, so far, the streams have done good. So if they continue to do well, I'll keep playing. There's all these other storylines. You know, there's Vegeta, there's Gohan, there's Piccolo. There's all these different storylines to play through. And I'd be considering doing that, again, as long as you guys are showing up and hanging out and supporting. I would really appreciate that, all right? So here's the deal. I don't dislike the game, but I just find it hilarious that people were telling me, oh, this is like the best Dragon Ball game ever, and it's such a great fighter. I was like, do you ever even played a fighting game before? This game is nothing like a fighting game. It absolutely is just like an arena masher. And if you're lucky to figure out how to do this insanely overly complex combat engine and master it, good for you. But just know that's going to be you and like maybe like 1,000 people on the planet that care. I don't. You know, it just doesn't, it doesn't have the basics, the foundation to me to be something that's going to be competitive and be worth my time to spend more time with after I mess with the campaign. You know what I'm saying? But again, I feel the same way about Smash Brothers, and tons of people love Smash Brothers. I'm not going to learn it when Street Fighter's my thing, right? So, it's good. I'm going to play more of it, but don't expect me to be going hard into it or anything like that, okay? All right. Of course, you got people complaining in both chats that, oh, it's my fault because I'm not learning the engine. I don't care. Do you understand that I don't care? I really don't care. The game isn't that serious of a game or that good enough of a game that I'm going to invest time to learn it. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Like Street Fighter, Tekken, hell, even to some extent Mortal Kombat, when they do make games that are good, because this last one was not in Mortal Kombat 1. Dude, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is not a game that I'm going to be investing time in to play at any kind of a competitive or high level. There's no point. You understand? I got a million other things to do that I'm more interested in than spending a ton of time learning this engine, especially when the camera can't even keep up with the action in the game. That's not something I'm making up. The camera literally can't keep up with the gameplay. And that's like step one to making a good competitive game. You know what I'm saying? So, okay.